Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 44 of Europa Universalis IV as France. We're still not in a war, we're still very wary of an ever increasing coalition, which is pretty much most of Germany, to be honest. We're now a rival of Castile. We're still trying to suck up to some of the European powers, just to make sure that we have a lot of people that like us. Our military advisor has died. What can we grab? Well, a level 2 is actually the smallest we can get. We can have a land maintenance modifier. That's not actually too bad, because that basically means that you pay less money for your men. And I think that includes the maintenance per month and also the buying price. And we do have a rather big standing army. He'll probably pay for himself. So we'll go ahead and grab him. We need to change our focus back to... I'll probably leave it when I can, because obviously you can only change it every 25 years, so I can't change it until the 5th of June 1596. I'll probably just leave it on default. At the moment, we're actually putting it on to military. Which we don't really need to do, because we are doing quite well on military points. We're not doing that well on Diplo, because we are above our diplomatic relations, but we've got a lot of Diplo points in the bank, and we do need to spend some on tech. And yeah, I think we need to spread it a little bit more evenly across the board. Before we do anything else, let's just have a look at what we've got popping up. We can invest in a new technology, which is a Diplo tech. Now, we are still a couple of years ahead of time, but there's nothing else really that I can spend the Diplo points on, because I don't actually have any... Diplo ideas at the moment. We also have enough admin points where we could decrease our shipbuilding time. That would be nice, but I don't think that is terribly important at the moment, because we are slightly behind time on administrative tech. So we will take the Diplo tech. We'll go ahead and do that right now. But we're going to hold off on admin and try and get the next tech level if we can. We can still build some improvements. We've gone ahead and we've built a dock everywhere. Now, the reason it's saying we don't have a dock built everywhere is because, of course, it is counting our overseas provinces, one of which has just recently finished. So we've got a free colonist. It was probably this one that has recently finished. So let's go ahead and send you here, and we will send our colonists there. And then hopefully we can get down here before Castile have a chance to colonize it. Which, of course, will give us another border with Castile, but... 50 population in the Grain Coast or 200 settlers. Let's go for the settlers. Hopefully we can kind of cut Castile off in this direction to stop them growing any further out over here. So, what have we got? Actually, looks like this is quite good. If you see this, the Antilles is actually taking over bits of Castile here. So, our colonial nations are actually doing some of the fighting for us. And because we've taken so much land for them, we're actually making them quite powerful. So we could even end up taking Florida and taking the Bahamas from England and everything else. We will at some point potentially have to consider going to war with some of these nations over here. We've got England up here as well, who are becoming quite a force. What about the Merrimack up here? Do we have a CB against them? We probably do, actually. Abenaki and Mahican would come in, or Machican. Abenaki is... Where's Abenaki? Abenaki are over here. They are not going to be able to do jack unless they march through England, which they could do. They do have a fairly sizable army up there. Yeah, I think we'll wait a little bit. We will potentially go to war with them later on and try and take some land from them. It's not a bad idea. And who are the other guys that are supporting them? I'm not even sure how far away they are. So I don't know how well the guys could do in taking that. Though it would be nice if they could grab that terrain there. But it might be a war that I end up having to get involved in. Of course, though, we should be far superior in terms of our troops. Let's go and start that war, because it shouldn't affect anybody else. So we'll go ahead. We want to take Merrimack. We will declare that war there. We will... more provinces are changing religion. I'm going to move over here with these guys, and I will attach to their unit just so that we can march around with them. As you can see, there's a big stack coming in there, but I think in general we should be okay. Gain 40 military power for losing 172 ducats or lose 10 prestige. Don't really want to lose any prestige. We can afford the money. Just watching this guy here, actually, because he's coming towards me, and I don't like that, and I don't know what province he's going to end up in. He might change his mind. Yeah, he's actually going to try and attack us over here. Let's go and try and form up. Let's jump straight in there. In fact, let's stop moving. Let's turn on forced march and get in there as quickly as we can. I don't think we're going to have any problems, to be honest, looking at how these fights are going. So let's move into here, and we are going to tell it to attach to the first army. So that's fine. I don't see us having too many problems down here in the south, but you never know, it could happen. We're already winning that war anyway, which will be really, really good for us. What have we got going on? We can invest in a new technology. This is a new admin tech. Let's go ahead and grab that then. So we are still only a couple of years ahead of time, so we still need to save up some more. That's fine. Let's unpause the game and allow things to keep ticking on. Armies moving around. Now then, how are things going with these rebel uprising? 1.9 years and 4.9 years. They don't really seem to be progressing all that much, which is certainly nice. It would be nice if they go away completely, but there's no guarantees of that. We are continuing to win fights. We can build improvements. Don't have a lot of money, and we are currently involved in a war, so let's consider not doing that right now. And it's only really Limburg and Alsace that we are having the problems with here. So if we double stack up on these provinces, we might be okay. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that. Do we want to build any improvements anywhere? We could go ahead and grab some dry docks. Again, that increases local ship repair rate. So dry docks aren't all that useful for trade, but certainly if you've got somewhere where you like to repair your ships. And I do tend to send most of my ships to Normandy. So let's go ahead and grab that there. We've lost our diplomatic advisor. And we could hire a level 1 guy at the moment who would increase our colonial range. How much money are we making? We could potentially afford to get the level 2 guy and actually get the trade efficiency, which would be very, very nice. So again, he'd kind of pay for himself. So I think we will actually wait until we've got the money to hire the level 2 guy there. Let's just have a look what's going on over here, and we can see this battle going on. So these guys are throwing their units in, but they're not doing very well, really. So even though technically the natives do outnumber us, we're Western and we've got a much higher tech than them, and we should be able to deal with them quite proficiently. Can we afford that level 2 advisor yet? Not quite, because we need 121 ducats in the bank. Should be doable. Yeah, so we're just going to start following those guys around. That'll be fine. And we'll keep colonizing over here. Now, these are 2 of our colonies. Where is our 3rd colony? Oh, yes, of course, we are colonizing down here. This one's now almost self-sustaining, actually. This is, what is it at? 993. So very soon we'll be able to move up here to Sierra Leone, and we'll be able to grab that as well. So I remember now a little bit more about what we're doing. Let's go ahead and grab that trade efficiency guy, because he'll be very good. Truce with Frankfurt has ended. Okay, they may very well now join the coalition. This is usually what happens. There we go. Frankfurt has entered into the military coalition. The Grain Coast has now become self-sustaining. Our truce with Cologne has ended. So that means Cologne will probably enter into the coalition against us. And this is what usually happens. Obviously, nations that you have a bit of a beef with do tend to want to join into a coalition against you. And there we go, Cologne has entered the coalition. But they can't actually enter the coalition while they're in a truce with you. So as soon as the truce ends, then they tend to coalition you. So let's have a look at the coalition map now and see what that looks like. That's the wrong map. There we go. So, oh, I didn't realise that England was in the, or Great Britain was in the coalition. It's still a rather nasty coalition. It may go away a little bit over time, and it probably will do. So let's have a look at a few things that are happening, because I've just noticed that we've got some Protestant zealots over here. Let's go and take one of these stacks of men. Let us give them a leader. We can hire a free military leader at the moment, so let's go ahead and get ourselves a great general. He's got a lot of maneuver, but apart from that, he's pretty terrible. And we don't want to be fighting in the mountains, but at the same time, you do want to try and deal with those guys. Oh, no, I thought they were in Switzerland. They're not actually in Switzerland. They are in Savoy. Oh, that's fine then. You guys can stay there. But we will sit here in the mountains just in case, because they may come our way. It's quite possible that they will try and trek over. Claims on provinces, Cambrai. So yeah, we've got a claim on this, but we can't really press against Austria because Austria are in the coalition against us, and if we go to war with them, we'll be triggering the entire coalition, which we don't really want to do. And we have a revolt, which is quite nice because we're at Limburg. They revolted and we insta-stomped them. So it was very nice that we had that double stack there. So Limburg now is no longer a problem. Let's take one of these guys and put them in Alsace. So that's one of the rebellions dealt with. The war still seems to be going our way. What else would we like to build? What about temples? We should have temples everywhere. We do. We should have courthouses. Oh, nowhere near everywhere. What about, though, grabbing something from the... do we want to spend military points? It would be nice to try and get some barracks in. We could certainly increase our manpower a lot with some well-placed barracks. Get 56 if we have one here. So let's go ahead and do that. We can only afford the one because we're out of money again. How much money are we making? We're still making 19.78. I still have that mission, of course, to build the ships, which I haven't done for a while. What are these guys? Of course, this is the problem. My ships are going home at war. But they don't need to be going home at war because currently the war isn't going to affect them. So let's just untick the go home at war. And the ships will start moving around again. And hopefully then that will put our income up a little bit. There we go. It's helped a little. A peace offer from the Cree. Of course, I keep forgetting that my vassals aren't necessarily going to do... Wow, that's a lot of ships. My vassals aren't going to make this peace on their own because... Well, they're not my vassals. They're my colonial nations. But we need to sue for peace ourselves because it's my war. I started it. Let's see if we can select this option here. And we want full annexation. So let's go ahead and grab that. They won't accept it currently. And how far are we out by? Wow, quite a lot. Well, we'll just allow things to tick on then. We will get the war score with them eventually. We can't really do an awful lot to go and chase the rest of them down. Although we might actually be... yeah, we are actually taking parts of Abenaki. Now, I'm not too bothered about Abenaki because they're mainly going to be a pain in the arse for Great Britain later on. But what we could do is if we actually take this province here, and I need to find it in the colonial regions. So it is part of the same colonial region as this area. So if we grab this, it will automatically get flipped over and become part of Nouvelle Flandre. Also, while I'm looking at different regions and things, let's just have a quick look down here at where we are colonizing on this coast. And is this all part of the same... Oh, let's get the right button. Is this all part of the same trade company region? Yes, it is. So we should be able to get a trade company going down here. I don't usually mess around with trade companies. In fact, I'm not 100% sure how you do it. Does this have a settler here? Are we over our colony limit? We are over our colony limit. Didn't realise I had an extra colony on the go. Well, let's split you guys up. And move one of you into this province. I didn't realise that's going to be costing us a little bit of money. But that's fine though. We can manage that. Ivory Coast trade. That's fine, you'll deal with that. So, can we make you... Yes, we can start a trade company. Adds all eligible provinces to the trade company. So what this would basically do, this will found a new trade company in the West African Charter. Giving control of all your provinces in the Ivory Coast to our new company will greatly improve its value for building a trade empire, but reduce its value as a source of troops and taxes. So it gives us more trade power, but it gives us less tax, less missionary strength, and all that sort of stuff. That is fine. We are going to go ahead and make that into a trade company, and these other provinces, once we get them, will all add to it. What have we got here? Native exploration. Natives in Sierra Leone will lose 500 in size, and both of us will actually lose 500 in size, but it decreases our settler chance, or we can lose 40 ducats and increase our settler chance. I have the money. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Anything that increases our settler chance is worth it, especially because I'm over my colony limit, which I hadn't realised. I'm not sure how I made that cock up. How are we doing in terms of rebellions? We've still got that... Alsatian nationalists that might pop. Alsace is only down to 2% though, 4.1 years until they pop. What are you guys offering? You're offering to concede defeat. How about... No. So we'll carry on. Still got 3 diplomats. There's no point sucking up to these guys now. We are at 100%. Still a little bit slow in the... integration of Switzerland, but that's fine. We've got natives rising up, that's fine. Our truce with Hesse has ended. Now, I don't think Hesse... well, Hesse are our ally, I think. Are they our vassal? Yeah, they're our vassal, so we're not going to have any problems with Hesse. In fact, we could probably go ahead and integrate Hesse now, because they should have been our vassal for over 10 years, because obviously the peace treaty lasted 10 years or more. If we go and have a look here, since 87... It's now 96. Okay, so they're very, very nearly, very, very nearly ready to be integrated. And we just want to try and isolate some of these little countries around if we can. How's things going on with Brandenburg? The improved relations is burning off, but so is all the other stuff. Now, of course, they do have things like neighbouring heretic religion because they are... What is their religion? I can never find it on here. Holy Roman Empire. Oh, it's there. Reformed. So they're reformed. So even if we end up going to Protestant, it still won't help matters with them. We do still have that option, of course. We could go ahead and flip over. As you can see, I mean, we do have a lot of religious unity still. We also have a lot of provinces that are flipping over in the other direction. Oh, we're currently the courier controller. I hadn't even noticed, but we are now actually the courier controller. So we are essentially the Pope at the moment. I hadn't even noticed. Which doesn't mean we can do an awful lot. There are a few things that are nice that you can do. You can call for a crusade. You can excommunicate people. It does allow us to do a few other things, like it allows us to have additional diplomats. I've still got 4 diplomats. How long have I been the courier controller for and not realised? I'm going to have to go back through some old videos. It looks like I was the courier controller a long time ago, because I've got another leader without upkeep. Aggressive expansion impact is minus 20%. Now, I'm not sure if that's minus 20% at the time of the aggressive expansion, or yeah, it must be only at the time of the aggressive expansion. They're still giving me peace offers, which I have no interest in taking. We'll save up some money. Not making an awful lot at the moment, but that's probably because we are over our army maintenance, advisors maintenance, fleet maintenance. Yeah, colonies isn't helping much at all. Abenaki are now making peace offers. We are at 75% war score, so there is the possibility that we might be able to peace out and take this province here. Let's go ahead and have a look, because that's all I want. Just that one province. We'll just take little nibbles at a time. So we want to, go to those guys, and we want to see if you will accept full annexation. You still will not. Still at negative 93. So we can wait a little bit longer. And if the war goes on for 5 years, then of course we'll have 100% occupation, and they won't be able to say no. And of course we are also... looks like we didn't come along there because we didn't get pulled on the boat. That's fine. Heavy ship and light ship costs become more expensive, but Diplotech becomes cheaper. Well, we're ahead of time on the Diplotech. So let's just take that. We do need to build the ships for our mission, so we don't want to be spending... We don't want ships to cost more than they should. Let's just keep these units around and keep them safe. Because they're not attached to anything anymore, because their guys got on a ship, and I don't think you can take somebody else's troops on your ship. I think that's what happened there, so that's fine. So we're not doing too bad. Up to 70% now on that war. I think it was 75 a minute ago. I'm not sure why it's just dropped. So everything is going well here. Another religion has converted, but in the wrong direction. I'm going to keep ignoring your peace offers until you give me one that's the peace offer that I want. So yeah, there isn't an awful lot we can do about the... We could flip the religion over. That is the possibility that we have. We could convert. We could convert to Protestant. And... can we convert? Oh, because we're at war. So it would give us extra taxes, and it would reduce our idea cost. I'll give it some consideration. We've got this this one again. I remember last time I played as France, I did actually go through and... But I think it was reform. Obviously, that can cause problems with the HRE, but not always, because remember... The HRE, whereas a lot of the HRE is still Catholic, some of it is actually reforming. Protestant certainly seems to be the most prolific religion in Europe at the moment. Of course, it would be nice to stay on good terms with the Commonwealth, but I think we could possibly do that even if we were a different religion. So it may well be worth keeping our eye on that as an option. But that's all we've got time for on this video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Europa Universalis IV, and I'll see you on the next video. So until then, goodbye for now.